We now return to Let's Play Caesar 3. Okay, so we're going to take it a little bit slower this time around. I've also learned a few things. For example, all of this flotsam that comes down the river indicates the river that is connected to the outside world, meaning that if we're going to have a trading port, our stuff has to actually be on this river, not this river. So even if I had built a dock over here, I would have been wrong anyway. Secondly, I think what I'm going to do this time around is instead of building two connected areas, I'm going to have a separate neighborhood over here. They will be fed individually by their own farm supplies, and so we'll just kind of separate it like so. Another thing in particular about this mission...
Caesar is at today's gladiator tournament and is...
Okay. Is that we are going to have to get oil production up and running pretty damn soon, because apparently Caesar is going to start demanding some oil. So I'm going to try and set these aside. I guess I'll just come in here and we'll just clear out a nice little area here. We'll go back into, you know what, why don't we just kind of put it over here? Maybe I'll separate it a little bit over here. I will utilize this same layout. I've adjusted the volume too. I noticed that it got really, really loud. What is that? 8, 9? Yeah. Put that here. You know, I think maybe I'll put... Yeah, let's put the line here. Really not a fan of this, but eventually, hopefully, I will be able to gain access to the military stuff, and I don't even really know where that is. You would assume it would be under here. I think that's the security stuff. But I don't appear to have anything related to military. Also, I'm going to go much slower as far as building goes. You know what? I could actually probably do aqueduct right away. Yeah, why don't we? Stick it right in there. So we're going to go quite a bit slower. Let me see here. Advisor. How do I see the overlay? Overlay for water. Okay. So this will probably help me out a little bit more, learning the radius for where these can go. But I think it's quite a distance. We'll find out in a minute. These actually require, according to the manual, these actually require workers, even though it doesn't say it. It doesn't show it, but we apparently need workers before they will actually even fill in, so before that gets started there... Oh, okay. No. So I need to bring it in... Well, let me see, let's put down a fountain. So I'm going to need to bring it in at least 4 more. Speed this up just a little bit. One, 2, 3, 4. We'll go like that. And then this should allow me to stretch it over here. There we go. I think that did it. And once this has it, it will get the rest of them. So what is that looking at here? That's looking at a 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably 11, 12 is where that... Okay. That'll be important to know at some point, I'm sure. Are people even coming in yet, or what? Okay, they are very, very, very slowly. I probably should have started over there. Right, so let's get the rest of this stuff done. Put in a bank of those. And I'll put in an engineer's post and a prefecture. Probably end up putting more in here. In fact, the way this works, if I'm not going to do a full villa, a 9-square villa, actually 8 would get in here, but anyway, I could actually tear out these middle ones and put, something there in the corners, and then utilize columns or gardens. We will get more beautification structures. I think you actually do get statues. It's not columns, it's statues in this game. They act like columns in Zeus. Okay, so we need to make sure we're doing a few other things here. Obviously, we're going to need to... What's the... Can I see desirability? I mean, there's problems. Entertainment, education... Desirability. Okay, yeah, so that has a very bad impact. But you can see it only extends for 3, which is still enough to get in here. So we're going to have to beautify this a little bit. In fact, I could probably block this off with some garden. I'm sure that would actually help. Whoa. I really need to be in the reds, not down there. Been playing too much Anno and expecting to get my expenses back when I delete things. Not gonna be the case, I think. I think temples are good appeal, so if I have to put a whole line of temples over here, I'll kind of alleviate that situation a little bit. That'd actually be a good thing to block over here. Actually, what about a senate? That'd be too close, but I could have it branch off here. Actually, probably be a good idea to put it here, maybe. Just because it takes up so much room, and this would at least get me a corner. Now this takes up a lot of people as well, but we kind of need it. Not right now though. Let's take it slow. Like just actually take it slow and see where our major problems are going to be. Now we can't take it too slow because I have to get ready for Caesar's demands. I think it's in... Is it in 1 year or 10 years? I forget. I looked it up on the wiki, and I can't remember. Let's do gardening here. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and build this, just so I, at the very least, can have an idea of how many people are unemployed, which right now is massive. I wish there was an easier way to find this stuff. 64% really doesn't tell me anything. Labor. There we go. Unemployed workforce, 27 people. Okay. Well, first things first, what do these guys need? They need a supply of food from the market. Okay. So we'll get the farming up and running. And let me look at this desirability thing again. Okay, just that line of gardens actually was a major help. It was a major help, actually, just having gardens. That's pretty fantastic. It's probably also a knock-on effect of this. It's probably helping to push this. You can see it's blue right around where the gardens are around it, so that's actually really good. So we have to keep that in mind as we go along here. Okay, let's move on. So the radius, I don't know, it seems to me like the radius for everything in this game is far more extreme. Like a lot more extreme as far as penalties and everything go. I really don't enjoy that. Fuck. And of course, because nothing is set up at all like the like Zeus or anything like that, it's very difficult to actually pin down where everything is. So I think 4 will be more than sufficient. I'm going to do a little branch out here. I'm going to put a prefecture engineer over here. And I'm going to put see, now I guess I can put a road behind. We'll be fine. The desirability of those, I imagine, is pretty bad. Yeah. So why don't I go ahead and just put gardens behind this whole row, which was kind of my idea. Ah, we've already got food. It grows very fast indeed. So let's get a granary. Gonna have to tear down some things. Where'd those sheep go? I like that we just have these... What did that say? We just have these wild herds of sheep. Okay, we need granary. Put that here. And then we're gonna have to put a market. Put that right here. I'm kind of on the fence about this because by putting it directly in a crossroads area, it means we have a good chance of them walking this way. I really don't like that. I think I'm actually going to... I don't know, I don't want them too far away. Tell you what, I'll put it right here. Or how about right there? Right there, right in the middle, yeah. It's still pretty close to this, but I think it'll be a little bit better. Actually, let's undo that. And we'll put the market directly by that. I feel better about that. Okay. They need food still. That's just the thing. These guys are still wandering to find workers, or they haven't. Hunger halts immigrants, yes. Yes, I'm working on it. If I could get a damn worker to go over there. Where's the walker? This is connected to a road, so I don't really understand. Okay, well, fine. If the dam... We'll put it right there. So it has to be connected up. Interesting, so that counts as a cross-section? And it's also interesting that that guy just went here and then stopped. Okay, so that's an interesting thing I did not know. That this doorway is actually connected to the road. That's pretty important to know that, actually. Okay, we still got quite a few of those. Let's look at our religious population here. They are irritated because that's how they are. So let's go ahead and get all of the gods taken care of. Damn them anyway. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of how they implemented this at all. The fact that you literally need all the gods all at once, just right up front, first thing, or else they get pissed and start causing problems. It's really bad. I guess I'll leave this. They like to walk this way. It might be a little bit of a shortcut for them. No. It's not worth it. It's far more worth my while for them to walk around or something so that I can get gardens back in here. Okay, so what else do we need here? There's no entertainment to be found. Okay. So that's something, but first we should probably be doing something about this. I think I'll put this here because the bathhouse has desirability. It's definitely within the water table, right? Oh yeah. And I don't know which is which. Like, I don't know what is a better thing to have, or if you need to have all of it all at once. They don't appear. Okay, we do actually have some food visually. We still need food, so the market. Is she going to buy food?
I'm off to collect more supplies.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's something else. The manual explicitly mentions that the market buyer and the market seller look identical. Like, they knew people would be confused and they were just said, okay, well look, you're just going to have to get used to the fact that one of them's a buyer, one of them's a seller. I mean, even just changing the dress color would have been a good thing. You know, in later games they made it very obvious you had a distributor and then you had a buyer. It's just a fundamentally bad choice. Lack of desirability. Okay, so on this side of town, things are pretty bad, and that makes a lot of sense. So let's go ahead and just put gardens. See, I mean, you can already tell the beautification itself has massive impact. Far more desirability impact just from gardens, just from your basic gardens, than anything else. So they really did change things up quite considerably from other games. Okay, hunger halts, employees needed. Yeah, okay. Why does it keep showing me these things? Anyway, lack of entertainment right now is the problem, but I need to be making sure everyone's happy. Ceres is charmed. I don't know why. But what we do need to know is we need to get started on that dock. I think I'll just take a little chunk out of this here. And where is... I don't know where anything is. Oh, dock. Okay. So definitely put a dock down. I need roads, but I'm also going to have to put a warehouse nearby. Now see, is there a special door that the road needs to go to, or can it just be connected to the building? We're also going to have a situation here where I'm going to need some people. But first, I need to put down a warehouse. And this is just going to be special orders. Become the trade center. And for right now, I don't want anything except I think I'm need oil. And I guess we can tell it to get oil right there. I'm pretty sure oil was the thing that Caesar's going to want. So we're going to have a conundrum here, because we're going to have to grow that stuff up here, but it's going to have to be dragged all the way down here. And the problem with that, obviously, aside from distance, is that if I'm going to have them walk through these housing blocks to get there, it's going to be a distance that we're going to have to connect up. So, I mean, the other alternative is just to make a separate oil place back here and just have a very long road only connected to that, which is a possibility. It's not a good choice, but it kind of beats messing around with this. How do I want to do this? So we need... Okay, that needs to be getting. We'll have to build a little thing over here. That is not the spin I wanted. We're gonna need an engineer's post. Okay, good. We can have these on this end here. How many people? Plenty of people. Okay. Right. Well, I gotta get started on this at some point, so... workshops... Oil... Okay. And I also need to remember, though, that I will actually need... Okay, this might end up being a little bit more confusing. I don't know that I can destroy that. I think I'll get yelled at because if I... this is the road to Rome. This is like the main road, and just like in other games, if it's disrupted, you get yelled at because there's a problem. So I'm leery to mess with that, but I think I'm gonna have to. I don't know, just for simplification, having this run out here would be nice, and then just go this way, but I think I'm gonna have problems if I do that. Having this as a closed loop really helps. Okay, we know it's gonna be a problem, so let's just do the right thing. Now, I don't want the road to come this way. I was thinking of that, just because it would... I do want to build. I do want to build some more industrial stuff here. Like, we're going to need these clay pits for raw materials. Those have to be pretty damn close, so, which means I need to have the road actually go this way. Which means that any inspectors are going to have to go that way. So any reduction in this nonsense is going to be best for me. Which means that I'm probably better off actually deleting that road and having it connect up here. Because then that gives them two choices. And we'll move the road down. So we're going to have to snag that, make this my pottery production area. That, where are they going to get that from? I guess I'll have to build a workshop up here, or a warehouse up here, and tell them to get pottery, so they bring pottery up here, which means that I still am going to have to connect this road either way. So, either way, this road will have to be connected. Unless I do like a back door. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, let's do it this way then. I'm going to have these... Pretty sure these are only 2s. Yeah. So we'll do 1, 2, bring the road here. And then we'll have this snag down here. Now I need to figure out where my... Nope. Raw material. It's going to be past 1. Okay, so it looks like I'll only be getting 3. Not necessarily. I could get more, but... Not to great quantity. And I think it's a 2-to-1. I think it's a 2-to-1 ratio in clay pit to potter. Don't quote me on that, because again, I don't know the game. So this is what we're going to do here. Whilst this is going on... Oh, God. I swear it's backwards. I swear the rotation is backwards compared to other games. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do this, because then that leaves me 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. Okay, perfect. So put a little tent city over there. Then we will come and drag... This. It's going to have to go around. we will shortcut over to here. I mean, it's not really a shortcut at all. It's quite a very long cut, in fact. But that way I can just bypass everything to be over here. Okay, so then this is where we're going to set up. Now we're gonna, oh boy, hold on. Okay, phone call. So anyway, let me get this going real quick. So there's that thing where you don't want too much stuff, like, or too much distance. So what I want then, I think, to make this effective, I'm going to have a warehouse at some point along this way. And that warehouse will be the midway point that sort of captures all of this. Now, I have to remember that this is also going to be feeding this block over here. We're going to have two, I'm pretty sure. I need 2,500 people. I don't think I can squeeze them all in here. I will definitely try, but... so I think this side will be my olives, and I have no idea how much we're going to get out of that. So let me I was literally just there. Now that fruit, I don't remember if I mentioned, this game, kind of like Emperor, has food type. There we go. It has a food type mechanic, meaning that we're going to have different types of food. I think four should be definitely enough. If it isn't, well, we'll just add on to this. So it's going to be important later that I have access to multiple food sources for gaining the best. And that's the other thing about this too, is if this was like later games, my privilege would be limited. Like I wouldn't be worried about getting these guys to the biggest maximum, because I wouldn't need to, seeing as how they would all be kind of in that area. I'm not making a lot of sense. Basically what I'm saying is that the ability for me now to just jump on this and get these guys to biggest villa or whatever and have access to all this stuff for what, this is second level? It's a little bit much. Okay, we'll do, I guess we'll do people here. And then in between here is where we will do a warehouse. And this warehouse is going to be where we take olives and oil, I guess, as accepting. Apparently can't specify how much. So that's where that's going to be. And hopefully it's not going to be too far away. They'll end up wandering off that way. In fact, I actually probably could go ahead and just delete this right now. I'm assuming these guys have access to this. That may be a poor assumption. But then I'll have workshops over here and whatnot. This granary doesn't take... No, it takes fruit. Okay. Well, it seems like we could maybe have a little bit more food. Yeah, I don't know. If we need more farms, I guess we need more farms, but it seems to me like 4 farms ought to handle it. But then again, I'm just basing my knowledge of this game upon other games. That means absolutely nothing. So we won't worry about that. Anyway, it's definitely time to end this one here. I will see you next time.